They said she was dangerous. Entire fleets whispered it in their corridors, their soldiers trembling even at her name. The alien vampire woman was supposed to be a threat, a predator lurking in the shadows of distant star systems. But to the one human who stumbled into her world, she was something entirely different, fragile, longing, and achingly human in her desire for love. Captain Rion's ship drifted through the nebula, its hull glowing faintly with the bioluminescent gases around them. His crew had muttered warnings as they approached the signal rumors of a female predator who had eluded the patrol fleets for centuries. She was said to have unmatched strength, able to drain the life from entire boarding parties in moments. Yet, when Rian's sensors detected the faint energy signature, he saw nothing monstrous, just a figure standing amidst the ruins of a long-dead space station, silhouetted against the swirling colors of the nebula. Her eyes glowed like molten silver, piercing through the darkness, yet there was a softness in her gaze that betrayed no malice. Her hair fell in long waves, dark as the void between stars, and her slender form was graceful, almost fragile. The rumors had made her sound terrifying, but reality was far more complicated. Rian was cautious, his hand resting lightly on the pulse rifle at his side. He had faced countless threats in the outer rim, but the stories of her ferocity had built a wall of fear in his mind. Yet, there was curiosity to an unspoken question. Why would someone so feared choose to remain isolated, waiting alone in the wreckage of a forgotten station? "Captain," whispered his lieutenant, a young officer named Kale, "do you really think we should approach? She's not human." Rian shook his head slowly. "We're here because someone asked for help. If she's hurt or trapped, we can't just leave her. Fear doesn't save lives, it kills them." As they moved closer, she stepped forward, her movements fluid, like a predator studying its prey, but the intensity in her eyes was not one of hunger. She tilted her head, examining the ship with a mixture of caution and curiosity. When Rian activated a communication beacon, her lips parted, and a soft melodic voice floated across the void. "You are human?" "Yes," Rian replied carefully. "We mean no harm. We received your distress signal." She studied him silently, and for a moment Rian felt the weight of a lifetime in her gaze. It was as if she could see everything about him, every fear, every hope, every small, secret corner of his mind. Then, slowly, she stepped closer. "I am called Leora," she said, her voice a blend of melody and shadow. I am not what they think. I only wanted—" Her words faltered and her eyes dropped to the floor. "I only wanted love." The words struck Rian in an unexpected way. The universe had made monsters out of many things, and he had learned to expect hostility. But longing for love, that was universal. Even a being labeled as a monster could desire it. "You're alone here," Rian said gently. "Why did you call for help?" Leora's lips pressed into a thin line. "I did not call for help. I could not stay on my world. They hunted me for centuries, saying I was dangerous, saying I could not exist among others. I wanted only a moment of peace, a chance to feel something other than fear and anger. But I misjudged. The void is lonelier than I imagined." Rian nodded, understanding more than he expected. "We can help you, but you need to trust us. You've been through a lot. I can see that." For a long time, she said nothing. The nebula's light played across her skin, and Rian noticed the faint scars along her arms, traces of battles and betrayals. They told stories more compelling than any history book, stories of survival and endurance. Finally, she spoke again. "You do not fear me." "I won't lie," Rian said. "I was scared at first, but fear fades when you see someone's true heart. You're not what they say you are." A small, almost imperceptible smile curved her lips. "Perhaps, then you are different from the others. Humans are brave, sometimes foolishly so. I am used to violence, to death, but love, it is unfamiliar to me." Rian stepped forward, careful not to seem threatening. "Love is not always easy, but it is what makes life worth it, even for someone like you." For the first time, Leora's eyes softened, and her posture relaxed. She had spent centuries dodging hunters, fighting enemies, hiding herself, and yet here, in the quiet of the nebula, she allowed a shred of vulnerability. The crew began to explore the station ruins, searching for supplies and equipment that could help repair Rion's ship and allow them to leave. Leora moved alongside them, curious but careful, occasionally watching the human crew with a mixture of suspicion and fascination. Every glance Rion caught from her seemed layered, unspoken questions hidden beneath the alien elegance of her form. "You are very different from the stories," Kale said quietly as they passed through a corridor. "I thought she would be deadly, but she seems lost, lonely." Rian smiled faintly. "Stories always exaggerate. People fear what they do not understand. Leora is not a weapon, she is someone who has been hurt. And like all who are hurt, she wants to be seen as more than the pain and fear surrounding her." By nightfall, Rian and Leora found themselves alone in the observation deck. The nebula stretched out before them like an ocean of stars, waves of purple and gold rolling through the darkness. Leora stood silently, watching, and Rian joined her, keeping a respectful distance. "You've been through so much," Rian said softly. "You don't have to hide from me." She turned to him, eyes glimmering like the nebula itself. "I have seen death. I have survived attacks that would have killed many. I have. lost friends, family, worlds. And yet, here you are. You do not flee. You do not strike first. You wait. You do not assume the worst. Because I believe in people, Rian said, even when they are not what the world expects, even when they are feared. For a moment Leora's expression softened completely. She stepped closer, her movements deliberate, careful. Then perhaps I can try to trust, to feel something other than emptiness. Rian nodded. That is all anyone can ask. One step at a time. Over the next few days, Leora began to show fragments of herself that no one else had seen. She laughed softly at the crew's jokes, marveled at the humans' strange inventions, and even attempted to teach Rian a few words in her own ancient tongue. Each interaction was tentative, yet each carried the promise of something deeper, something that neither time nor fear could erase. But the universe does not forgive us. As their repairs neared completion, sensors detected a fleet approaching hunters who had chased Leora across multiple star systems. Their ships were sleek, black, designed for speed and destruction. They carried the rumors and fear that had haunted her for centuries, and they would not leave without her death. Rian's heart tightened. He could not allow this to happen, not after witnessing the person Leora truly was. We fight together, he said firmly. You are not alone anymore. We protect each other. Leora's eyes shimmered with something human fear. Yes, but also trust. I will fight, but you must understand. They are relentless. I understand, Rian replied, but I also understand hope, and hope is stronger than fear. When the hunters arrived, the battle was swift and merciless. Rian's crew maneuvered the ship with precision, dodging plasma fire and striking at enemy vessels. Leora joined the fray with unmatched speed and strength. Her movements almost like a dance, elegant and terrifying in equal measure. Yet every strike she made was controlled, aimed at disabling, not killing. She was a predator, yes, but one who now fought alongside those she trusted. In the chaos, Rian caught glimpses of her vulnerability, the flinch when a shot grazed close, the slight hesitation when an enemy was clearly cornered, and still, she fought with unmatched courage, not for conquest, but for survival and the fragile bond forming between her and the human crew. When the last hunter's ship was destroyed, silence fell over the nebula. Leora's chest heaved, and she leaned against the hull of the human ship, staring at the stars. I thought I would always be alone, she whispered. I thought the universe would only see me as a monster. But you showed me something else. Rian stepped beside her, his hand brushing lightly against hers. You are not a monster. You are more strong, yes, dangerous, maybe, but also capable of love, of trust, of hope. That is who you are. For the first time in centuries, Leora allowed herself to believe it, to feel it. She looked at Rian and there was no shadow of fear, no trace of the predator. Everyone had imagined only a being who had longed for connection and finally found it. I want to try, she said softly, to be more than what they said I was. To be loved you already are, Rian replied. The nebula stretched endlessly around them, a swirl of color and light. They stood together on the observation deck, alien and human, predator and protector, bound by something far stronger than fear, bound by understanding, trust, and the fragile, powerful force of love. They said she was dangerous. They were wrong. She was not a weapon to be feared, nor a shadow to be avoided. She was a woman who wanted what everyone wants, a chance to be seen, to be understood, and to be loved. And in that moment, she had found it. For Leora, the universe no longer felt like a prison. For Rian, the galaxy had revealed its deepest secret, that even in the darkest corners, light and love could survive. Together, they stepped forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever the stars might throw at them. Not as hunter and hunted, not as predator and prey, but as equals bound by courage, by trust, and by the timeless, undeniable power of the human heart. And as the nebulous light danced around them, Rian realized something profound. The universe did not create monsters, it created stories. And sometimes, the greatest story of all is the one where fear is replaced by love.